सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ॐ। समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। ॐ श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरवे नमः। ॐ नमो नारायणाय तस्मै नमः स्वामी तपोवनाय। हरि ओम। Krishna's first message to all of us in the Gita. We contemplated upon that, we reflected upon that in the previous session. He says, do not grieve. There is no valid reason to grieve, so do not grieve. For those who do not deserve to be grieved, do not grieve. We tried yesterday, right? One day to try and live it, because Krishna is roaring it in our ears. Natvam shochitam harasi. You do not deserve to be grieving, to be sad, right? But how the day was, we only know. How we fared, only our heart knows. It is like the day we try to fast. We say, today I'm going to fast. And we find all these reasons why not to fast. There is a feast going on. Everybody comes and brings this or that. And you feel energy low, BP or sugar low. It was like that, wasn't it? But then Krishna also gave us so many reasons. It was not like a command, but it was a loving instruction. So many valid reasons how to reason out your grief, how to be detached from your grief and reason out it, so you can work a solution out of it and get over it. It's not that you don't feel the emotion itself. Yes, anger or grief will come, but do not be so depressed or drowned in it. And what is the logic you have to use to reason and get out of that grief? How you can apply karma yoga, jnana yoga, bhakti to help you come out of this. All this Krishna lovingly explained. We also reflected upon all those things. One practical thing is, for example, so many, each one will have one's own methodology, right? One's own quote. This quote, even this will pass away. That is enough. Or velu mailu tunai. Yamarika bayame. It could be anything. Right? It could be the understanding out of our own experiential wisdom that every time I have had a tough situation, a seeming pain or a sorrow, right? I've only become stronger. I've only become stronger. It's been for my ultimate good. I've become better. So that's been my experience in the past. So when the sorrow comes, something good happens. I'm becoming stronger. I'm becoming closer to God. And actually, what is it? My papa, my sins are getting washed away. Idum kadandu pogum. It could be anything. So all of this we tried, and it's a life full of trying for living these messages, right? So we now for Arjuna, when Krishna says this, do not grieve, for Arjuna it is a situation of kill or get killed, right? To him, Krishna said, do not grieve. There is no reason you are grieving for those who do not deserve to be grieved. And he said, there were so many reasons. He said, on duty, if you're grieving for yourself or Bhishma Pitamaha or anybody else, on duty, if they die by your hands or whatever reason, they're going to go to heaven. Whomever succeeds and does not get killed and survives the war is going to get fame and enjoy the kingdom. In duty is always win-win situation. And are you worried about Bhishma Pitama? They are realized souls. They know who they are. They know who I am. They are playing their roles. Or are you grieving for those Kauravas, those fellows who do not deserve to be grieved? Without you killing also, do you think they'll be eternal? They've all chosen this end by their own past actions. So you speak like you are an intelligent person without all this understanding. All these admonishings and all these loving instructions he gave, but the very first instruction, very first reason that he gave was, you should not grieve for those who are dead or not yet dead, because no one ever dies. No one is ever born in the first place to die. You are the pure self, birthless, deathless. That is the first reason he gave. So if Arjuna was a fit recipient, it would have just been a matter of owning it up. And that message is for all of us also. In our sake, we can even generalize it, saying what ultimately Krishna was trying to say, is what we really ultimately and dearly seek in our life is we ourselves. What is sought after is the very nature of the seeker. What do we seek? What do we ultimately aim for? What is everything meant for? Happiness, infinite happiness. I want to be unlimited. I do not want any conditionings on my freedom. I want absolute freedom, eternal peace. That's what every moment, every action, every thought is meant for, that only. And Krishna says that that is our real nature. And when the recipient is not a fit patra, is not pure enough, is not mature, pakwa enough, this does not get assimilated. It's just lying there like some undigested food. There is no immediate recognition. There is no immediate peace. There's a temporary peace, nice to hear, that's all. But there is no, that owning up of, yes, I am already that. So what happens when that fails? When that lesson fails, Krishna has to try something else. Now, Arjuna has taken this too literally. Whatever Krishna has said, he has taken too literally. And he said, okay, you are saying I am happiness. If I am happiness, I do not have anything to do with the world. I don't have to act. I will shun the world. I will give up my desires. I will go and sit and discover that I am happiness. That is what Arjuna is telling. Why are you forcing me to fight? Why are you forcing me to do my duty? This Ghore Karmani. Why are you New Jersey? Why are you propelling me? I will shun and all these things I'll give up. Does this ever work? Is this a workable solution? Can anyone just give up desires or give up action? See, Arjuna's problem, let's try to analyze. Arjuna's problem was not the result, was not the action or the result of that action. But it was, he was afraid of his own reaction to the result. Arjuna was not afraid of war. We know that. He's been a warrior. He's fought the same group of people alone during the Virata Parva, during the Virata war. In Mahabharata, we've seen it. Right? Just days before this actual war, there was another war and he fought them alone. It's not the war. It's not even the result. It's not even the killing or the death of his beloved ones, because he's a strong person. He was even emotionally strong. He's seen so many killings and deaths. It's not the result also, but his reaction to that killing or to the death is what he's afraid of. His attachment and his insistence, oh, I will become sinful by this killing. I will be unhappy without them. It is not the war. It is not the death of Bhishma or Drona that is affecting him, or the death of Kauravas, but it is, I will become a sinner. I will be unhappy because that sin will be on me and I will be unhappy without them. That his judgment based on the result is creating a reaction, which is that agitation and that immediate repulsion. I do not want to fight the war. I do not want anything. I will just go and beg. That's what he's saying. I will become a bhikshu. That's Arjuna's problem. Let's analyze personally also, right? Anything, for example, exam, right? In our case too, it is not the exam actually that we fear, or the studies, or the exam, or the results. The result can only be pass or fail. But when the result comes, then I will judge myself, saying, I have become successful, or I am a failure, or others will judge me, and I give importance to that judgment. This attachment, insistence to the reaction, that is what agitates me. That is what creates bondage, right? When we really analyze what is creating the problem, what are we afraid of? Are we afraid of the action itself, or the result, or the reaction, or our own judgment based on the result? It is actually that judgment is what causes that reaction, is it not? We saw in the example of the exams or anything. Okay, I'm giving this speech. So it is not the speech itself, or what it is, okay, people come, people do not come, right? Whether they will like or not. And then I judge based on I was successful, it was a good lecture or not. And I become insistent. That is what agitates, creates the agitation. So what we are saying is action will give result. Any action will give result. That action is not the problem. That will not create bondage. Result will not create bondage. But when I do action with expectation, what is expectation? Attachment or insistent on a specific result, right? When I have action with expectation, action plus expectation, then I get not only the result, but also bondage. The bondage is what? The bondage is the burden that I feel, the agitation that I feel. So in this, when I analyze this, what can be worked out as a solution? I cannot avoid action. Everybody must act. There cannot be one moment without action. And you already said that action, every action comes with a result. So I cannot avoid result also. Can I avoid expectation? Can I avoid expectation? Seems like I could, but really no. Even a fool will not start any action without a result in mind, isn't it? Without a result in mind, why would anybody do anything? So expectation or desire, that also cannot be avoided. Therefore, the end result, the bondage, the reaction, that also cannot be avoided. Therefore, I do not want to disturb this honest nest. I am just shunning the action itself. That is what seems to be Arjuna's final takeaway in this utter despair. That's actually only lack of understanding. That's also sometimes in our case also, it is the same thing. I cannot avoid action. I cannot avoid result that comes with action. And it seems impossible to take up any action without any expectation or desire. Then I don't find the motive only, the inspiration only to act. When all these things is there, then the resultant reaction, which is the agitation or which is the elation or the depression, that bondage is bound to happen. So why take up all this? Let me just, because I now know I did not know, now I know that I'm Satchidananda Swarupa, let us give up everything and go. Sometimes we may also, like Arjuna, feel this. But let's try to analyze what is the cause of these expectations. It is the expectations that causes this reaction and this bondage. What is the root cause of this expectation also, which creates all this agitation in me? For example, with this idea, I shun now everything and go to mountain. Okay, there's a beautiful mountain, rivers, many trees. And because why? I've shunned everything. and I want to experience peace. Yes, the mountain is beautiful, the river is beautiful, the trees are so beautiful, and for some time, when I have no expectations, I am free. I am happy. Yes. But the minute I feel I need someone to talk to, I need someone to click pictures, then that is gone. Right? And also, when I see the mountain, the beautiful mountain is Tiruvannamalai, but I expect how I wish there is an icy cap on this mountain. Then I will not experience that happiness because my expectation of seeing an icy cap is gone. That is not met. The river is so beautiful, but how I wish there was falls, such a great falls like the Niagara Falls. Then again, because of that expectation, the happiness I felt is gone. Isn't it? Guruji beautifully puts this. God has created this universe so beautiful and so perfect for all of us, just the same way. The mountain, the trees, the sun, the moon, the river, it's the same. The air, the heat, everything is the same for all of us, right? But each one of us living in this beautiful, same universe that God has created, each one within this create our own private world of conditionings. Conditionings that are brought about by the society, by the community, but by even the religion, by our parents, by our teachers, by our own self also. So many conditionings. So we do not live in this public world. We do not see a thing as it is, but we see it with our own conditionings, with our own goggles of likes and dislikes. Each one of us living in our own private world, a cocoon that we have built of our own prejudices, likes and dislikes. And through that only we perceive anything, any object, person, situation, A, B, C, article being circumstance that comes in my life. I perceive it not as it is, not objectively, but subjectively. Through the pair of goggles of likes and dislikes, I perceive this A, B, or C. The sugar is sweet for everyone. But the minute I feel it's too sweet, it could have been a little spicy, then I am unhappy. A jasmine is beautiful, a rose has its own beauty. This rose is smelling good, but I wish it was white. Right? So that kind of our expectations, our likes and dislikes is what makes the value that we give to our likes or like dislikes. That's what creates the bondage, actually speaking. We are just trying to analyze with our own life what causes our aversions to certain results of actions which causes this bondage. And we may not be even aware of these likes and dislikes, which are deep impressions within us. For example, right, I may be having this very old vessel in my house. For so long, it has been lying there. But just at the time I was deciding to give it away or get done with it, somebody tells me it is an antique piece. Oh, antique. No, I do not want to give up. Right? The value of that changes. So it is these likes and dislikes that create this bondage. These likes and dislikes come in the way of us being contemplative, of us. It comes in the way of this knowledge also. When the Shastras say, when Shri Krishna says through the Gita, you are the Sachidananda Swarupa, I am Sachidananda Swarupa, Chidananda Rupas, I am. It sounds so good. It almost sounds like hypnotism, but I'm not able to own it up and live it because these likes and dislikes come in the way. That is the dirt. So to fix this, it is just not enough if I force myself into contemplation and give up actions, force myself to give up actions or desires, and sitting is not a solution. because I cannot avoid action. My hands and legs are going to move. I cannot avoid this. Cannot sit like that. My internal organs, liver and lungs are also going to act. They will act. And even if we try to stop all these things, we cannot even survive. Or superficially, if we try, we'll become lazy. We'll only perish. So we have no choice whether to act or not to act at all. Action, we must. Act, we must. Where is there a choice? I have a choice. I have a right in the action, but not in the result. Karmanyevadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana, Shri Krishna says. I have a choice in action, not whether to act or not to act, but once I act, I have how to do it. There is some choice, isn't it? But not in the results. Because the results are not in my hands, they are not governed by me, it's in the future. Action is in my hands, it's in the present, it's now in my control. Let's try to understand with an example. Okay, I want to bring these two hands together. I want to bring these two hands together. Whether now I want to bring them together in a specific way and say namaste, or I want to clap, that is all my choice. I have control over my hands. So I have control, I have a choice in what I want to do with it. But once I bring these two hands with a specific velocity, after that I do not have a choice in the result that will come. Okay, if I bring in a particular velocity, that was love, my God, that agitated me. Why did I do that? That cannot happen. I cannot say that is foolishness. I had a choice how much velocity I should bring my hands together. This was in my control. But once I did it, whatever happened, it is automatic. The results accrue even as I perform the action. When actions are performed, the results are automatically accrued. Isn't it? Whether I want to jump out of the window or not is a choice for me. That is in my control. Karmanyeva adhikara, that's all. But once I jump out of it, the result, I cannot expect the gravity not to work on me and I should fall softly and nothing should happen. I should not break my bones. That is not in my hands. So Bhagavan is saying actions cannot be avoided. Therefore, results also cannot be avoided. And it's also not very right to say to an amateur, to a beginner in the spiritual path, to say, do not have any desires or aims or goals, just do not have any expectations, just work like that. Can't say. Karma Yoga seems just practically impossible. It is just what do you call it? Utopia. Not like that. He says, have a goal in mind, have a very high goal in mind, work for it, plan, execute. But when the result comes, which is not in your hands while you're doing the action, even though you have something, I can expect this, okay, and you work towards it. But whatever happens after that, you have no choice. You have no rights over it. Just so with this understanding, when you work, even before you work, when you have this understanding, then these likes and dislikes get neutralized. It comes with practice. Not that we do not do it. We also do it. It happens without our knowledge sometimes. Basically says, feel like an instrument, right? A doctor has a patient on the bed, a surgeon. He knows what has to be done, and he knows what result to expect when he does specific actions. He's equipped for it. He does his best. Then whatever result happens, he should not judge or insist saying this or that. Now I am a success or a failure. He was an instrument. And whatever happened, happened. If a banker comes and gives us a specific amount that was a gift by someone. A postman comes and gives us a beautiful card. Nowadays, we have to say Amazon person comes and gives us a good delivery of a gift. We don't feel obligated to hug and thank the delivery person, the postman or the banker, right? So also, I am an instrument. This duty, this circumstance has come to me by certain laws, universal laws governed by a superior power much above me, which I do not know, but I find myself in this duty right now, in this circumstance right now, and I am equipped with certain knowledge or skill to do it. Whatever to extent I know, I will do. I'm an instrument. And the results will come as they have to come. Those results are also not governed by laws which are created by me. I'm not the maker of those laws. With this understanding, we have to plan, we have to execute, we can expect, but when the result comes, accept it as it comes. This is called prasada buddhi. Prasada buddhi. This is what Shri Krishna says. Have prasada buddhi. How do we understand this prasada buddhi? Prasadam nale, prasadam, immediately we remember puja, going to a temple. We might get vibhuti as prasadam, or we might get pongal, or we might get puliodare or curd rice, whatever we may get that day as prasadam, little or large amount, we don't have any insistence, no? Whatever has come, whoever gives it, that also we don't care. A small child giving it, pujari gives it, or somebody lady gives it, doesn't matter. It's prasadam. They say it is, prasadam edukonga. It's God's prasadam. Please take it. If one gives a flower, we will take it and we will smell it. But the moment they say this is prasad and somebody gives a flower, we will take it to our eyes. We will not smell it. Isn't it? Isn't it? Once we know that it's prasadam, then there is no judgment, there is no insistence, there is just cheerful acceptance of whatever it is. And we know what to do with each thing also. We know if it is water, jalam, we take it that way. If it is vibhuti, we apply it like this. If it is flower, we take it to our eyes and wear it. If it is food, we eat it. Sometimes this prasadam, we are very happy to share to the maximum that we know that we love and then take it. Similarly, also, you feel like an instrument, and when you, with that understanding, you work whatever you best that you could, but don't have a specific insistence on the result that comes. Whatever comes, you say this is prasadam and take it as it is. This attitude of cheerful acceptance, when that is there, the likes and dislikes slowly get neutralized and they become like a diffused time bomb. When these likes and dislikes get diffused, when they get neutralized, then what happens? One becomes naturally contemplative. There is more peace. And when one hears that Sachidananda Swarupa Shivoham Shivoham, it is so crystal clear because the dirt of likes and dislikes have now gone. You can't give them up like that. You can't give up action. You can't give up desires like that. It is with the thorn only you have to take out a thorn. They say, no, mullai mullal edukkanum. So with action only you can get out of the bondage of action. So do not give up action, but do the action with this understanding. It is the attitude which will make us a completely different person altogether. It will be the same action. It will be the same doer, but the person inside will be different. And what we experience through those results also will be very different. And there is some more to it, but now it's time to close this session. But this itself is enough message. We will see in the next class a little bit more and add on to it. Okay. So today's message, see, this is, I'm not saying a particular sloka, because in so many places this message has come. It is the essence of so many slokas from the Bhagavad Gita, isn't it? So many slokas on karma yoga, on prasada buddhi, on being an instrument is there throughout the chapter, up to the 18th chapter, also right from the second chapter to the 18th chapter, it is there. Niyatam kuru karma tvam yajnarthat karmano nyatra lokoyam karma bandhanaha karmanyevadhikaraste ma paleshu kadachana yogastak kuru karmani samatvam yoga uchite. All these things mean the same thing, but it is this essence. Right? Do your best, and whatever result comes, cheerfully accept as prasada. That is our only way out of this karma bandhana. Yajnatat kuru karma. Yajnatat anyatra karma, karma bandhana. If you do action without this spirit of dedication, without this spirit of sacrifice and dedication, if you do, you will be bound. On this, there is some more we have to reflect, but this is enough message. This is enough message to have cheerful acceptance. This is linked to the first message also. Why not to grieve? How to be happy? Accept cheerfully, whatever comes. So with this message, we will end this session. We'll meet again on Friday. It's still sometimes just feels like it's still not clear. It's just still hazy. But let's do that churning, that mathanam, that logical. How logically Krishna leads from one step to another, from one lesson to another. And we'll do more on Friday when we meet. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Guru Pyo Namah. Hari Om.